We're back with another video. I thought it was about time I went through my list of God tier books. When I say God tier, I mean I will accept zero criticism on any of these books. Like, you can go argue with the wall. I don't really care. These books are everything to me. I've read a lot of books in my lifetime, okay? There's a fair few of them that have been God tier. We're gonna go through some of my favourites. This is in no particular order. Flock and Exodus in the Ravenhood series. Once I read this series, there was no going back. This series changed me. This series sent me west in the best way possible, but also the worst way possible. I hated what happened in this book, yet this series has made it to this list, so make that make sense. The tears I cried over this series is literally not even funny. It changed me. It actually altered my brain chemistry. I was mad at it, but I also wasn't mad at it. You just gotta read it for yourself, you'll see what I mean. Ignite Me. Now, I love the Shatter Me series, don't get me wrong, but this book right here, this book was everything. I just cannot even explain to you how much I loved this book. I can completely overlook the fact that Aaron Warner is 19 years old and the fact that he's blonde. That does not exist to me, okay? This man, this book was life, okay? This book breathed actual life back into me. The entire Sinners Anonymous series, Sinners Anonymous, God tier. Mafia romance is my favourite, so it's not really a surprise that this series made it on the list, but I really don't care that Rory speaks in weird bird puns. I know a lot of people had an issue with that, yeah, it was really cringy, but it didn't take away from the book. Angelo Visconti made me quite unwell. The age gap between them, the forbidden romance, she was engaged to his uncle, I ate it up. This book was such a good introduction to this series. I couldn't put it down, and I've reread this more times than I care to admit. Then I moved on to books 2 and 3, and life was never the same again. Rafe Visconti is one of my top book boyfriends of all time. I'm so obsessed with this man, I cannot even tell you. I cannot even tell you. I just know this man, if he was real, oh, you guys would have to pray for me, because I'm lost for words, can you tell? I'm literally lost for words. This man does the hardest grovel I've ever read in my whole entire life, and the things I would do to have a man grovel after me like that, you don't even want to know. Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I didn't even give these books 5 stars, I gave them both 4.5. I don't know what to tell you, these have made it onto the God tier list, okay? The only reason I knocked off 0.5 was just because of the world building, and with fantasy sometimes things can get a little bit confusing and you struggle to know who they're talking about, where they are, whose dragon's this, do you know what I mean? So that's the only reason, but that did not take away from the story, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any bad words about these. I don't, you cannot say anything bad about this. Xaden Ryerson is my man, okay? He is my man. If Xaden Ryerson was real, you could not keep me away from him, okay? You couldn't. I would fight you for him, I would. Say You Swear. What can I even say about this book? This book took me by surprise. I knew it was going to be good, and I'd heard good things about Noah Riley, but I just wasn't prepared for how good it was going to be, and now I think about Noah Riley on a daily basis. This is the standard right here. This is what I'm basing all of my prospective boyfriends on. They have to meet the Noah Riley standard, okay? It's very hard out here for those poor boys. Very hard. The Maddest Obsession. The things I would do for Christian Alistair. Girls. The things I would do, okay? I think it's probably best to just leave it at that. I'd give anything to be able to read this again for the first time. This book had me in a chokehold like no other. And it's mafia romance again, so you know I loved it. Oh, look at that. It's another mafia romance book. The Predator and the Reaper. Tristan Kane is actually my Roman Empire. I would die for this man. Tristan Kane wants to come and claim my life as his. He can have it. Have it, please. These are just God tier. I kind of class these as one book. This is one story to me, you know? This is just everything. You want everything and more. The first 4 books in the Boys of Tommen series. Like, let's just pretend Taming 7 doesn't really exist, because that book kind of let me down. But these 4 right here, don't even get me started. I will accept no criticism on this series. I gave 5 stars, 4.5, 5, 5. God tier. Did this series rip my heart out of my chest? Yes. Did I literally sob my eyes out? Yes, I did. I felt like I was going through the trauma with these characters. That's how good it was. Bonus points that they all had Irish accents, because I love me an Irish accent in a man. I would do anything for Joey Lynch. Like, that man battled every single one of his demons to be worthy of Aoife, and it was so beautiful. I don't want to hear anything bad about these books. And I also don't want to hear anything bad about Gibbsy, even though his book was a letdown, because Gibbsy is a king. I may or may not do a little part 2 with books on Kindle that I've read that are God tier. What do we think? Let me know some of your God tier reads in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you for watching.